Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at one of the most controversial Marvel Legends of this year, the Maximum Series Spider-Man. And today I'm going to go ahead and maximize the Maximum Series Spider-Man, so stick around and find out how I do that. Okay, now the box, we'll check it out, and I've said it before in past videos, this figure is worth every penny to me. I very gladly bought it, pre-ordered it day one, and it's probably one of the best Spider-Man you're going to get from Marvel Legends, if not the best, and it even rivals some of the import figures for the price, but ultimately it is up to you if you want to spend the money for it, and that's just simply my opinion. But let's go ahead and get into the mods we're going to do this figure today. One of the first we're going to look at is here. It has drop down hips for better articulation, but they sit a little wide stance, so we're going to trim up the thighs. Next, we're going to trim up the feet. As you see here, when you use the toe articulation, it's a little squared off, so it doesn't stand as well as it could on the toe, so we're going to round that off as well while we're working on the legs. And then next up, we're going to move up to the top. The legs extend on the shoulders here, and it looks kind of funny, so we're going to paint over that just to make it look better. Honestly, that's a preference. And then we're going to also paint the shoulder joint here, as well as some of the excess red there where the webs don't run. It'll look really good, as you will see in the end product. And then we're going to move on to the head. This articulates incredibly to begin with, but we're going to trim off some extra plastic on the disc joint at the top so it looks back a little bit further. And then we're going to also trim the bottom of the neck on the ball joint so we get a little bit better articulation there. So let's go ahead and take the figure apart. Okay, now we have the figure all apart, and we'll look at the shoulder joints here. This is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to have prep that. We'll take the elbows here and prep that as well, because I don't think I've mentioned yet, but we're going to paint all the blue black to give it kind of that McFarlane style. That was a lot of controversy in of itself when I made a video on that before. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is McFarlane Spider-Man black and red or blue and red? So now I'm going to get my Dremel here, and we're going to go ahead and prep the elbow joints. Now with the elbow joints all prepped, let's go ahead and move to the neck. Like I said, we're going to trim a little bit of plastic on this disc joint so we can look back a little bit further, as well as on the bottom of the neck so we just get a lot more rotation. So this is going to be really simple. You can see here, once you get the figure in here, and there's a little extra plastic above the last web line. We'll just cut there so you can't really tell that we've cut away any plastic at all. Next, we're going to move down to the bottom. This you won't see, so you can cut away as much as you want, but I say take a little bit at a time because you can take too much and then mess up the joint altogether. So you see here, I'll just trim a little bit around the edge and then just go a little bit more each time. And you really don't need much to make a huge difference with this joint. So this is looking really good now, so we'll pop it on, and as you see here, we have a lot of rotation around the neck now, which looks really good. I'll test out the disc too. It's hard to tell without the head, so let's go ahead and pop the head on and show it again. Alright, now that the neck is all done, we're going to go ahead and move over to the shoulders. Again, like I said, these spider legs kind of extend. It looks a little weird. I know a lot of people have painted over this. Since we're painting black, it'll be perfect. We'll go right over it with the black paint. But first, let's move down to the legs. Since we're going to prep everything for paint, let's trim everything up first. And what we're going to do here is just take a little extra plastic at the bottom of the joint so the legs sit closer together, because the drop down hips make him have a little bit wider of a stance. Again, this is just a preference thing. Doesn't honestly make a huge difference, but it won't hinder articulation. Cut this plastic out and you won't really notice it either, so I highly recommend it. And we're looking good here. Just like with the neck, just take a little bit at a time, because you can ruin a joint if you take too much, but just a little bit goes a long way. Next, let's move down to the feet. Again, like I said in the beginning, it's a little squared off as you can see, so it doesn't stand as well as it could on the toes. So we're just gonna go ahead and take the X-Acto knife and just glide it right over the top and clean off that hard edge. Now with the hard edges shaved down, you can see here it's perfectly round and it follows the toe joint, and the toe actually bends this way too, so you get even more articulation out of this mod. Again, like all the other mods we've done so far, you won't see it unless you're posing it, and it just makes articulation and posing that much better. So let's go ahead and do it on the other foot. And now that everything has been trimmed up, we're going to go back to the torso. We have put 2 coats of clear coat on here. As you can see, the shininess is way down. So now the paint will catch on a lot better, and we'll go ahead and start painting it black. And after 2 coats of black paint, this is what we're working with. Like I said, doing the clear coat beforehand makes the black go on a lot easier. Sometimes that really shiny film on top of the plastic doesn't take paint as well. We also painted the arms since the joints were prepped for that, and this is looking good as well. And this is what we did with the shoulders. Painted the disc and then painted up the excess red. As far as the legs, we ended up actually RIT dyeing these so we don't have to prep the joints, and there's no webs we had to work with. We just took the bottom half of the legs off so we wouldn't mess up the red. And once we put everything back together and put a couple more clear coats of it, this is what we're looking like. And this came out so good. This is my second time doing this now. This was for a commission, so if you ever want me to do this to your maximum, please reach out. I love doing these mods. This is so fun. I got all the ideas from these mobs from X Scorpio and It's NGK on Instagram. They both did a lot of these different mods, and I have to give all the credit to them. I had so much fun making this, and like I said in the beginning, this is a super controversial figure, so let me know in the comments, is McFarlane Spider-Man black and red or blue and red? And in general, do you like the Maximum Spider-Man or the Maximum series in general? But until the next one, thank you guys.